Hey, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Here we have a recent episode of the Whatever podcast. If you didn't know, this is run by the man on the left in the black hoodie. His name is Brian Atlas. It's generally speaking a dating podcast, but this specific episode lines up just perfectly for my channel. You see on the left side of the table, right next to Brian, that pink sweater, that is Rachel Wilson, wife of this guy, Andrew Wilson. And we all know who that is. They've both been on the podcast several times. Like I said, generally about dating, but this episode is different. I would actually like to be on the Whatever podcast. So I figured I would make another video. I've made a couple on my channel before, but this will be the most recent one. Now, if you're just joining me for the first time, check out my other content. Check out my live streams. I will be live tonight. It's Tuesday for Townhall Tuesday with my co-host Tommy. We do this every single Tuesday. I am live with our show at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're in Florida, that's 8 o'clock. Please consider subscribing to my channel, like this video, and share it with your community. But for now, let's get into it. Here we go.
Sometimes I think it might be nice to live in Delulu land with a lot of the other women.
Delulu land. You guys all just are ignoring the Epstein files and all just living in Delulu land that Trump's not in there. I mean, that's the same shit.
Well, I guess we're starting off hot and heavy with this moron. I have done lots of videos on this subject, and I've done a deep dive. Like, when I make a video, you would be shocked to know how much is left on the cutting room floor. I learned so much. That's one of the reasons I kept making videos after I started making videos, because I kept learning so much. There is no evidence that Donald Trump ever did anything inappropriate with someone underage. Period. End of story. If there is evidence and proof, I'd like to see it. But there isn't any. Your opinion does not equal proof.
The same thing. ICE is taking families apart that are even legal immigrants.
You haven't said anything yet that you had any clue what you were talking about. So we're just going to all recognize that you also have no clue what you're talking about on this one either.
That is true.
Okay.
So if somebody gets caught in Disneyland and didn't buy a ticket, do you think they should get kicked out?
Yeah, but what about the people?
So what's the difference between that and ICE kicking somebody else?
Because some of them have papers and documents and they're being kicked out anyway.
Who?
The immigrants.
Not one single person was an American citizen.
We kicked out a veteran. Did you guys see that? We had a veteran who served for the United States of America.
The high-profile guy that turned out to actually be illegal?
I don't think he was.
Wait, can we test this really quick? So,
Wait. Did you hear what she said? She said something that they all say. And it's so ignorant for her to look at something like a factual thing and go, I feel like this, or I feel like that. Your feelings don't equal proof. You feeling a certain way is absolutely irrelevant. Me feeling a certain way is absolutely irrelevant. I look at the facts. I might not like the outcome. I might not like what the facts say to me, but you can't just change what the facts are because of a way you feel.
okay. I agree with you as follows. Yes, if ICE is making mistakes, and if it is the case that they are deporting people who have a genuine right to be like actual citizens, then that's wrong. In the same way that sometimes police officers do make mistakes. Of course, like yes, sometimes there are genuine cases of police misconduct, brutality, killings, and oftentimes those are genuinely prosecuted, and then sometimes not too. Right? If I can agree to that, are you willing to say that I'll stand by you and say either unjustified actions by ICE or unjustified deportations, which my understanding, it's compared to the millions of deportations that are happening, we're talking about a handful. Yeah. We're talking about a few. Even if it is happening, it's wrong. Are you okay with the millions and millions of genuinely viable, true deportations that are occurring? Are you totally fine with those?
I'm not totally fine with all of them.
Okay, so your objection is not
Well,
about
here's the thing. America was, we were built upon immigrants. We are all immigrants.
Hey, girly, we are not all immigrants. This country was, oh my God, this country was not founded by immigrants. This country was founded by settlers. Look, I know you're kind of dumb, and so let me break it down in like an elementary school way, okay? Settlers go to a new land and create a society. Immigrants go to an already established land in society and join it. That's not the same thing. I know your brain, I know you feel like it's the same thing, but it's not. When the settlers got here, the Native American tribes were all at war with each other. It's not like there was one ruling Native American tribe that was in charge of the whole thing. And a lot of the United States landmass was undiscovered. So we didn't immigrate here. Our ancestors didn't immigrate here. They settled here. I'm talking about the original people. Now, I understand that your grandparents or my great-grandparents might have immigrated here. I get that. But the original colonizers of this land, the original people, were settlers.
The talking points for
No,
regurgitation
because I know we're all.
She's just heard all this slop and she
but
just
what are the
repeats
immigrants
No,
doing
hold
that's
on.
affecting us? Have any of you ever been personally victimized by an immigrant? Like, why are we?
A lot of people have been victimized by
What have they
immigrants.
done? What have they
But
done?
hold on.
Why are we
even if-
deporting children and tearing families apart? Like, why are we doing that?
Well, hold on. So should we should keep the children here and separate them from their parents and
Well, they're
deport the
doing
parents
that
back?
anyway.
No, typically
Yes,
if
they
you do a
are.
deportation, the kids
the
go
whole
with the
That
parents.
is not true.
Yes, it is.
Parents are in different facilities than their children, and there are
no.
young girls being raped and getting pregnant in there.
That is also not true. She is literally just sitting here saying, I know where you're getting this from because we do a thing on the Crucible
boy.
called TikTok invasions where we go into leftist TikTok and we hear them say this insane stuff and we challenge them on the actual facts.
Can I
and they're
see some
always
facts
wrong.
that are in, like, do you guys have any documentation that stuff is not
Wait,
happening?
here.
Well,
Let's
he
do,
can bring it up, but
here.
you don't have documentation
I don't have
either.
any devices.
Where's your facts? Where's your facts?
I don't.
Yeah, where's your facts? Where's your facts?
I don't have a
And why,
phone.
why are you confidently asserting something that
She doesn't have the facts about what she's saying for one reason and one reason only. The facts don't exist that she's talking about. Those facts are made up, make-believe facts in her own brain that she's convinced herself somehow are true because she really believes it. Yeah.
then? You're asking me for evidence, but you don't have to provide
Because
evidence.
I don't think we would have like millions of Americans protesting right now if there wasn't some basis of truth
Well,
to it.
you would be wrong because we had you girls protesting in the streets over women's oppression when that's not happening either because you just
the
feel
way-
like it is.
It's the way that women are being. We already talked about that.
It's the way that women are
being talked about and treated, and why, like the way that men think it's okay.
You know who really probably hates shit like this? Women who live in Iran or Pakistan. I don't know what kind of internet access they have. But can you imagine these women looking the way they're looking, dressed the way she's dressed with her gazungas hanging all out? She would last 5 seconds in Saudi Arabia. Like, she doesn't even know what the word oppression means. She has no idea what the hell she's talking about at all.
To talk about us.
And it's
nobody's talking about you.
Wait. Can I ask you a question?
Nobody's talking about
Wait,
you.
I've got a really good question
I'm
here.
so ready for it.
okay, do you think sometimes when people are
Baseless assertion
when people are doing activism or protests that beyond just finding something objectionable, even if it's not like government down, like okay, in society there's misogyny and oh my God, it's so terrible. Whether real or imagined, would you agree that sometimes the aim of activism or protest in society there's misogyny and oh my God, it's so terrible. Whether real or imagined, would you agree that sometimes the aim
women's oppression when that's not happening either, because you just
the
feel
way-
like it is.
It's the way that women are being. We already talked about that.
It's
the way that women are
being talked about and treated, and why, like, the way that men think it's okay to talk about.
assertion
when people are doing activism or protests, that beyond just finding something objectionable, even if it's not like government down, like, okay, in society there's misogyny and oh my God, it's so terrible. Whether real or imagined, would you agree that sometimes the aim of activism or protest could be to attempt to get laws passed?
I would agree so, but I don't
Okay,
think
should
it would
we
do it.
criminalize misogyny?
Criminalize misogyny? No, because they're entitled to their own opinion. But I think the point
So
of the
then
hang
what
on,
the
I think
fuck
what the
is the
fuck-
point? Like, what the fuck? What do you want the government to do about men, some very small amount of men who sometimes say mean things about women? What do you want them to do?
The protest is a gathering of people to show that there is an issue that people are recognizing
What-
and seeing.
what is the issue?
There's no
What is the issue?
There's no I've said it.
Who are you protesting against?
We're just trying to show like a group of getting together with a group of like-minded people that
to
support you and
complain.
sing.
Just
and
getting
what is
together
wrong-
to loudly complain
What is
in
wrong
public.
about complaining though?
But what are you complaining about?
Dude,
What do you want
You have not answered that question,
do you
so
want-
stop
and what
saying
do you
you've
want
answered the
done
question because
about
you
it?
have not answered it.
What do you want done about it? The point of the protest is that you want what?
Something done.
No, I'm not saying they want anything done.
Oh, wait, I've been asking this. The whole No Kings protest, all this shit. What the fuck do you want? What do you expect to happen? But they chant ICE out of Portland, ICE out of Chicago, ICE out of... What, do you realize that that's not going to happen no matter how much you protest, no matter how many frogs go down there? So this is a really good, important question to be asked.
So they're just
You guys just
protesting
want-
for no
The
reason.
protest
We
is
just
a
want to
demonstration.
complain. We just want to.
And what is wrong with complaining? We have freedom of
What are
speech.
you complaining about?
we're
That men are
complaining-
allegedly, according to you, men are always talking shit about women. Who?
The amount of time, the amount of
Who?
horrible shit.
My
I have
question is
heard-
who?
The amount of horrible shit I have heard men say about women
Who?
specifically
On TikTok.
No, I was with a
On
group.
TikTok.
I was with a group of guys once, and they were all talking about like sex or whatever, and they were talking about like
Once.
a sex position where you do some fucked up shit to a woman and she tries to get away from you, and they all were laughing about it. That is not
Wait,
okay.
wait,
You
wait.
haven't heard women saying awful things about men and all
No,
laughing about.
I've
You
never
guys
heard
just
that.
did. You just did on this podcast.
Wait, this is a complete, I believe.
That's
though.
not for public protesting, though. We're talking about public policy. Please,
Okay, what if-
please
like,
try.
wait,
Hold on.
Ice.
I think.
Yeah,
hold
we'll
on,
get
hold on.
into that too.
I think this is a complete, actual misrepresentation of what these protests are actually about. Now, I think it's fine for women to feel upset about some sort of cultural or social zeitgeist where there's like misogyny or whatever. If women feel that way, that they can object to that. But these protests seem to be more about women don't have rights and we gotta rally together to protect the women's rights.
I will say-
What are the specific rights in which you're attempting to secure or protect for women?
I think more recently Roe v. Wade is the one that most women have been protesting for, is that one being overturned. They're trying to keep that, and we already talked about abortion, but I think that's what they're
Alright.
trying to keep in there.
I'll be right
Okay,
back.
so I have a question for you. You said, which we're gonna do a little lesson in how to think. You
I barely
said,
have a high school
I
education."
don't think a bunch of people would be protesting if this wasn't going on, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you trust the government?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Are you aware of the fact that entities like NGOs and the CIA have paid protesters, that this is a proven fact,
I am
that
aware
there
of
are astroturfed fake social movements?
And I am also aware that there's people like that. You could go on Indeed and find people that will
Yes.
hire you to go out and
Yes.
protest. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, so I wrote this little book that y'all should buy on Amazon. It's called Occult Feminism, The Secret History of Women's Liberation. And it details how the CIA was actually involved in the creation of Ms. Magazine and multiple other feminist propaganda to push it into the culture during the Cold War. Do you think there might be something going on right now? Do you think that there could be any of these kind of entities behind some of the like ICE protests or the No King's Day stuff?
Absolutely, and I think they're trying to distract us from the Epstein files.
Okay, but you have a problem with ICE, so we're not going to just endlessly talk about that on here because it's also YouTube TOS and it's all speculation. The thing about that is it's all speculation right now. So you have a problem with ICE deporting people. Why?
Didn't Obama deport more people than
Yes,
Trump
he did.
has?
He absolutely did.
But that was over an 8-year term, wasn't it?
Obama put them in cages too.
Yeah.
And you don't think Trump's putting them in cages?
We put people in jail.
Have you guys seen the
if they violate
pictures
the law.
of the ICE
They're
centers?
air-conditioned facilities. They're getting 3 meals a day.
They are not.
Yes, they
You guys
are.
Yes, they are.
delusional.
No,
They are
you're
not.
How do you know
delusional.
that, though?
I would love to see your guys' evidence to this.
I would like to see yours
have
because
that
you
evidence.
They have a
keep
computer. I don't have anything.
I'll
talking
have
about a
Brian
lot
look
of
it up.
these
Yeah.
Look it up.
facts, but
Yes, look it
you
up.
keep going, I feel
Look it
this,
up.
I think that. Do you know or do you think? Because it sounds
Look
like
it up.
you think a lot of
Oh, oh my God. I don't know who this woman is that just said that, but she's based as fuck. And she doesn't know. She only feels like, oh, I feel like this, so it must be true, but my feelings are important. So you're saying my feelings don't matter? Is that what you're saying? I feel a certain way. You're telling me I'm wrong, so now my feelings don't matter. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
stuff that you don't know
Well,
about.
what she is she's a great representation. Like the Marxists put this in all of their writing during like the Bolshevik Revolution. They said you got to get the young women, you got to send them to university because they're the easiest to capture and propagandize, and they're the easiest people to turn into crazy revolutionaries because you can weaponize their motherly instincts and you show them pictures of kids in cages. You tell them that families are being separated. You say the little girls are getting raped by ICE, and they'll believe that, and they'll go, oh my God, I have to protect the innocent thing that can't defend itself, right? This is why you see insane women in the street trying to fight ICE, like literally trying to block them with their SUVs and punch them in the face. My dear, you are completely brainwashed and totally propagandized. And you've eaten up all the propaganda and you totally believe it.
If I will look up some sources and find some articles once we're done.
I
here, and
hope
will
that
look
you
at
do,
them.
and you're going to find out that you're wrong.
You know what she's going to find? I'm going to tell you exactly what she's going to find because I have looked. She's going to find papers and articles written by other crazy liberal women and other liberal crazy people that are their opinions, their feelings. So she's taking someone else's feelings and opinions that they've presented as facts, and she's taking those as actual facts. Well, but this other person said that that's true, so it must be true. Forget about, like, you know, you can actually do your own independent study and own independent research. You don't necessarily have to go look up what someone else thinks and said. Why don't you, here's an idea, think for yourself. Imagine that.
You're going to find out that you're wrong.
I look forward to finding out I'm wrong.
So I had a big fight with people on Twitter about this. There was some other dummy lefty idiot on Twitter who was making the same allegation. All the ICE agents are raping and impregnating all the girls in these places. No. Some of the women that are coming over the border and get detained, even very young girls, are found to be pregnant, but it's the coyotes who are human trafficking them across the border who are impregnating them. They show up already pregnant. They're not getting...
If there was that sort of situation going on in the detention centers with ICE officers, it would be fucking national, every network news. We'd be all making videos on it. They'd be parading the guy through. What? Are you serious? You think ICE officers are doing that sort of thing in the facility when...
raped by ICE in prison? Like, you think there's not cameras in these facilities? You think there's no oversight? Like, if something like that was going on a widespread level, we would be seeing a case at least.
Have you guys seen she was like a leftist, what's the word, reporter, and she tried to get a job with ICE, and they like barely did any interview process, any training.
Yeah, I really trust a leftist reporter to honestly report on how ICE hiring processes work.
I mean,
but can you tell me why we shouldn't deport illegal immigrants? You said you have a problem with that.
No person's illegal, so there are...
That is absolutely not true. I did a video on the top 10 places that you cannot go illegally and move to, and the United States was not on the list. And, you know, there's a thing called a Singapore cane. They beat your ass with a kendo stick if you go into their country illegally. Mexico has a southern border law. You can't go to Mexico illegally. And if you burn the Mexican flag, you go to jail. Like, gee, I wonder if this girl's ever been outside of the United States of America before. Gee, I wonder. 3 weeks living in any other country, and this chick right here, this whole side of the table on the right, would be on their knees begging to come back to America. They have no idea how good they actually have it here. They really don't.
Okay, tell me about that. Explain.
How could you say a person is illegal?
So you don't think there should be nations or borders?
No, there should be nations and borders.
Okay.
But why? I mean,
what
think
makes
of all,
a
like, our
nation?
nannies.
What makes a nation if you don't have legal citizenship?
The people that are here.
Okay,
Doesn't, like somewhere in
so-
the Bible it says something allow.
No, it
allows
doesn't say.
yes,
Don't.
It does.
It don't
There is
even.
something in there
No,
that says
there's
allow
not.
your neighbor in with their some shit. I don't know. I've
it
never read the
doesn't
Bible.
mean have open borders. We're talking about ancient kingdoms that would literally slit your throat if you crossed their border without being allowed in. Thank you, Brian. Do you think it's wrong for Japanese people not to let immigrants in?
No, but I think when people
Well,
are
wait.
when people are already here and they have established a life, and now Trump is
But
in
they
office and
snuck
he's just
in. So if
Yeah.
you try sneaking into Iran and see what Iran does to you, do you think it's okay if you sneak across the border into Iran and they put you in prison? Do you think it's wrong for Iran to do that?
no, but I'm just
Wait, so why is it wrong for Iran?
it's the way that we're doing it that I think is
Okay.
wrong.
How
I think
should we
it's-
do it?
I think we should see that.
Should we put them?
How the fuck do you think Iran would do it? This girl has convinced herself that the United States of America is one of the most oppressive, underhanded, conniving bastard of countries on the planet. She has no idea that America is so much better in damn near every single way than the majority of the almost 200 countries in the world. She has not a fucking clue what she's talking about. The problem is, though, that she thinks that she knows exactly what she's talking about. That's the problem.
On a little padded
We should-
cushion
we should find-
and peel grapes and put little grapes in their mouth and sing them songs when they go to sleep
We
at
should
night.
find. I mean, if they're not like undocumented immigrants and they're in America, and they've been here, they have a life established here, they have children here because their children were born in America and they're citizens. Why can't we help them get like their proper citizenship rather than just kicking them out? I mean, they're already here.
There are
amnesty.
some people who are going through that process and are being allowed to do it, but it depends on the case. And the problem is that this has been going on since before I was born. Okay? So we've had such a massive wave of immigration over the last 50 years that now we're in a really fucked situation where we got to try to unfuck it. And guess what? You're not going to deport millions of people without a little bit of discomfort. And I know women don't like discomfort, which is why I say men ought to be the ones in charge of all this thing, because even right-wing conservative women will often see this stuff and get upset and get worked up and be like, I don't know, we shouldn't do it. Life is hard. And there has to be rules, and there has to be borders and boundaries. And if there's no borders or boundaries, if we're not allowed as a country to enforce our borders, why are you as a woman allowed to enforce your boundaries and borders? Like, why don't you?
Oh, she is not going to be able to answer that question. Deflection incoming.
You
I'm
let
just saying
immigrants into your
there's
home.
A better way we could be doing it.
Oh, yeah, I
better
think so.
way,
I think we
okay.
should let them stay with you. I think we should let Jose and his whole family come live with you.
I honestly
You
think-
can pay
They
for
can
their
come
health
stay.
care and you can pay for their food.
I honestly think we're not doing enough.
Yeah,
We're not doing enough?
We're not
near
doing
enough.
Tearing
enough.
families apart isn't enough.
Hold on, wait. So
Tearing
if a-
families
if
apart.
a-
Yes.
Oh, you're tearing fair. If that's a
Yes.
consequence of somebody illegally immigrating here, then
So what
So
about
be
what about
it.
the people whose children are citizens and they are not citizens because they immigrated to America, had their baby here?
That's
chose
why
to
we're
do
doing
that,
away
though.
with birthright
Yeah, we gotta get rid
citizenship.
of, we gotta
Yeah, that
get
was
rid
actually
of
for
birthright
So that you don't have
citizenship.
that anymore.
Complete.
So let me
Not
check
talking
again
about-
for consistency.
Not talking about the future,
If-
but talking about
if
how we're at currently.
if I commit a murder tomorrow and I get put in prison, I'm being separated from my children. Is that okay?
Yes. 'cause
So
you
if I
killed
commit
someone.
Oh my God. I'm going to do a couple more of these. Shout out to Brian Atlas and the Whatever podcast. He has such good content. I would love to be on the show at some point. I'm working there, you know. Hey, look. Some things in life you got to earn. You know what I mean? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Please share the video, like it, subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other videos. And every Tuesday, come on by for the live stream, Town Hall Tuesday. Until then, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.